We have some major breaking news. It has been officially confirmed that Helio Castroneves has been locked into the 2025 Daytona 500. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. As I just said a second ago, we got some pretty massive and major breaking news, as it has been confirmed that Helio Castroneves will be officially locked in to the 2025 Daytona 500. Earlier today, NASCAR released a ton of rule updates for 2025, including stage lanes, the damage vehicle policy. But one thing that I saw was a very interesting new rule that will be coming into play for 2025. This, of course, came from Jeff Gluck, who wrote a really cool thread in regards to the rules. He said, "Oh man, here's a doozy. There's now something called an open exception provisional. A well-known driver who is a significant contributor from another series, NASCAR driver is not eligible, now automatically will make a cup race." So, Helio is in the Daytona 500 already. In a little bit of a quick update to this story, Jeff Gluck reported a little bit later as well. He says, "Folks, there's more. This wouldn't just be a provisional like a past champions divisional where it's a spot in the 40-car field. It's an extra spot, a 41st car. A 41st starting position may be added if a team utilizes an open exception provisional as long as a team has requested and NASCAR has approved the open exception provisional." What this means is that we could potentially have a 41-car field for the Daytona 500 in 2025. It would be the first time we'd have more than 40 cars if this does end up happening since 2015 when we had 43-car fields. I've been saying for a long time we need bigger fields, so this is absolutely huge that 41-car fields are going to be a thing potentially for this year's Daytona 500 if this ends up coming true. In addition to this, it was confirmed from Trackhouse Racing, I believe it was Joseph Swigler, Steven Sump reported on this as well. The Helio is officially confirmed that he'll be entered in the 2025 Daytona 500 and is guaranteed already in. This is absolutely huge. This confirms that Helio Castroneves will be, I believe, we'll have for the first time in NASCAR Cup Series history, one organization that will have 4 different drivers from 4 different countries. Of course, you have Ross Chastain, who is from the United States. You, of course, have Daniel Suarez, who's from Mexico. You've got Shane Van Gisbergen, who's from New Zealand. And now you got Helio Castroneves, who will race in the Daytona 500 from Brazil. He'll be looking to become the first driver to win the Daytona 500 from Brazil. I think he's also looking to become the first driver in NASCAR Cup Series history to win from the country of Brazil. And he's also trying to only become the 3rd driver to win the Daytona 500 as a driver who's won the Indy 500 before. The other 2 are Mario Andretti, who won in 1967, of course, won the Indy 500 in 1969. And then you have AJ Foyt, who won the 1972 Daytona 500 and is a 4-time Indy 500 as well. He'll be looking to become the 3rd driver to do that. This is absolutely incredible to see that Helio Castroneves is locked in. Honestly, I kind of like this rule change a little bit. Now, granted, I think drivers like Martin Truex Jr. and Jimmy Johnson probably should have been allowed to be guaranteed in the race. So it's going to hurt a little bit of the duels and the luster of that, unfortunately. I do think it affects that in a pretty big way. But at the same token, same time, it would have been a pretty massive and major story had he not been able to make it in. Now, obviously, of course, he will have a pretty busy weekend. He will be running the ARCA race at Daytona. Will be driving the number 82 car for Pinnacle Racing Group in the ARCA race. He does have to qualify his way into that and owner's points for the 82 car for Pinnacle. He'll be teammates of Brendan Butterbean Queen, by the way, but the owner's points for them are not really great, so he's going to have to qualify in, and they've got that stupid group qualifying stuff they do in ARCA that I do think needs to change going forward, but that's just my personal opinion. I think it's pretty cool to see that Helio is already guaranteed into this year's Daytona 500. Now, obviously, from what I saw, from what I heard, he is enjoying it out there doing the ARCA test. He showed some really good speed. He did get caught up in a crash in testing, I think, in the second half of day 1, unfortunately. But I think it's pretty exciting to see that Helio Castroneves will be able to lock his way into the Daytona 500. One thing I will say that's a negative to this story a little bit is the fact that we now won't have to worry about Helio Castroneves missing. And I think it would have been really wild if Helio Castroneves unfortunately would have missed the Daytona 500 because of bad luck and all that stuff. But now with this rule coming into play, he's good to go to run the Daytona 500. So what are my expectations for the Daytona 500 for Helio Castroneves? The goal, just don't make a mistake on the racetrack. Run as far as you can. Try to complete every single lap and try to see if he can be up there contending for the win. I don't think he's going to qualify very, very well. And let's be real, he's probably going to have the pace and speed to contend to get in on the duels anyway, so it's really not going to matter at the end of the day. But I do think that Helio Castroneves will be fast enough and quick enough to at least contend for top 10 or top 15. The big thing, though, is going to be, can he survive the carnage in the incidents this time around? If he can do that, I think he's got a really good chance and opportunity to go out there and compete for the win. But I look for Helio Castroneves to be very, very strong in this year's Daytona 500. Looking at the rest of the Daytona 500 entries, there's still a lot that need to be confirmed for 2025. Jimmy Johnson has not been formally announced for the Daytona 500, but he's expected to drive the 84 car for Legacy Motor Club. Well, it's not been formally announced. Mark Truex Jr. is expected to drive, I believe, a Tricon car. Yes, David Gillen did go on Sirius XM. We talked about on the channel a couple days ago. David Gillen did say that Tricon is not going to be making the car, which we all kind of knew that at this point. He'll be driving a car that's built by Joe Gibbs Racing, and it will be a Tricon car. RCR could enter a third car in the Daytona 500. If they do, I think Austin Hill will be the driver. There's apparently an extra car that's not been confirmed at this point that might end up showing up. We know Anthony Alfredo confirmed yesterday that he'll be driving a 62 Ford Beer Motorsports, and you've got a lot of really good talent to be looking to try to make their way in. But it's very interesting that Helio Castroneves will be looking and confirmed now to be running this year's Daytona 500. He'll get to race against a lot of really great talents in the NASCAR Cup Series. Guys like Shane Van Gisbergen, who will be running his first Daytona 500. Ross Chastain, Daniel Suarez. Brad Keselowski is looking for his first Daytona 500 win. Kyle Busch, technically in his 20th try, looking for his first Daytona 500 win. Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Bubba Wallace, Tyler Reddick, all guys that are looking for their first Daytona 500 victories. William Byron, who comes into this year as the defending winner of the Daytona 500. And then you think about other big names, like I said, like Riley Herbst, who's going to be in this event. You've got Noah Gragson, Zane Smith, and a lot of really great drivers like Chris Buescher, too, who's looking for his first Daytona 500 win. You've got drivers in different backgrounds and different series coming in, and I think it's pretty cool that Helio will get to be in the Daytona 500. Now, granted, I think it's disappointing to see that guys like Jimmy and Mark Truex Jr. can't lock their way in, but I think it's a very interesting provisional that's coming into play, and we now get to see Helio Castroneves officially confirmed to run the Daytona 500 in 2025. I'm excited for this. I really think that Helio will get up to speed quickly. He's enjoying his time out at the track. He's really interested in running other NASCAR races too. We could see him run some road course races down the road in 2025. We know Project 91 is expected to make some more starts throughout 2025. I would have to think Connor Zilch can make his Cup Series debut with the Project 91 car. I'm excited to see what happens in regards to this, and I'm definitely looking forward to see what Helio can do in the Daytona 500. It's crazy that Helio Castroneves has officially been confirmed and is now locked in already at the Daytona 500, despite the fact we're still about a month and a half now from the Daytona 500. He's officially confirmed to be in the 2025 Daytona 500 with Trackhouse Racing this year. So, that is going to be today's special breaking report on Helio Castroneves being locked into the Daytona 500. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if when a video does go live on my channel. Follow me Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support me on Patreon as well. List goes below that, and comment your thoughts below on today's episode. How do you think Helio Castroneves is going to do in the Daytona 500 since he's guaranteed in now? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Tomorrow on the channel, probably have a special video dropping in the channel. Not quite sure exactly what will be coming out tomorrow. There will be the Xfinity Series lineup video probably dropping in the coming days as well. We'll have the updated Cup lineup as well, as there's more updates been coming out on that. Monday, there's probably not only going to be one but two NASCAR videos dropping on the channel, and there's going to be a lot of great content dropping as we get closer to the Daytona 500. We'll be talking about people like Haley Deegan, Connor Zilch, Sheldon Creed, Carl Edwards, Kurt Busch, Kyle Busch, all those big names. Of course, Chandler Smith, Eric Almirola, you name it. There's going to be a lot of great content dropping on the channel as we get closer to the Daytona 500 as well, and closer to the start of 2025. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.